Do you ever feel like your prayer should be more organized or more logical? Have you ever sat down to pray and thought, oh, what's the point of doing this if nothing is changing? If so, then you may be a mind led woman, someone who connects best with God through thoughtful reflection, clarity, and most of all, through structure. But chances are that you've been taught that the quote, real way to pray is to be spontaneous, to be emotional, or to be long winded. So when your prayers don't feel so dramatic or deeply emotional, you're going to wonder, am I even doing this right? I'm probably doing it wrong then, right? So, what I want to do right now is clear something up. You're not unspiritual. You're wired with a way to pray with focus, with intention, with insight. And guess what? I know that that is a gift. So, a mind led woman really thrive when their faith practices have purpose. You crave understanding, patterns, and seeing how God is actually working in the day to day. But in many Christian circles, prayer is modeled as this free flowing thing that's overly emotional. And that leaves you feeling really unsure and disconnected at times. And that disconnection, well, it doesn't really mean that your faith is weak. I don't ever want you to think that. It means that you actually need a prayer structure that aligns with how God designed you. So I'm going to walk you through a prayer practice that speaks your language, that is clarity, that has insight, that is really spiritual reflection. So it has 4 steps. So if you're writing this down because you think I'm a mind led woman, then I invite you to write it down and try this activity. So, step 1 is we're going to start a structured prayer journal. You're going to divide your journal into either 3 columns or you can do it in 3 sections of your journal. We all have journals that are sitting around our house doing nothing because we love buying them, right? So get yourself a journal. Each section or column, one for gratitude, one for your petitions, and one for answered prayers, or you can call it your praise section. Okay. Step 2, what I want you to do is I want you to write out 1 gratitude per day. I don't want you to make a list. I want you to go 1, write out 1 gratitude per day, something very specific that you're grateful for. And then I want you to write out why you are grateful for it. Because what this does is it grounds you in what God is already doing in your life, and it cultivates you for that spiritual awareness. That's the best thing. The third step is I would like you to record 1 petition daily, just 1. Write down 1 prayer request, something that you're asking God for. And it can be for yourself, it could be for a friend, it could be a bigger issue in the world. That's what I want you to do, is just write down 1. And really, this is where the mind leading really shines. You're invited to track your prayers and again, see those patterns over time. God often speaks through and what he brings up to you and to me repeatedly. I've seen it in my journal over and over again. Step 4, I want you to log answered prayers. When a prayer is answered, mark it in your journal and write a sentence of praise about it. And over time, this becomes like a faith archive. It's your proof of God's faithfulness. It's really, really powerful. I've been doing it for years. This practice really lets you see your relationship with God really unfolding. It's not just about the emotion, but you see it unfolding in those patterns, in God's timing, in God's purpose. So I've got a little extra for you. I've got something optional that you can add to this if you wish. You can use scripture to support your petitions and even your praises. Borrow some some from the Bible. As a mind-led woman, you may benefit from anchoring your requests, your praises in verses and biblical truths that will actually add for you confidence and even more structure. So start with the first part and then do the optional part if you feel like you want to dive into that. A strong example of a mind-led prayer person in the Bible is going to be Paul. His prayers inside the epistles, those letters that he wrote, are purposeful. They're packed with theology, and they're always tied to action or transformation. So I'm thinking about Ephesians 1:18 that says, I pray that the eyes of your heart may be enlightened. Paul shows us that deep thinking and structured prayer can be full of power and intimacy with God. So if you've ever felt unsure about how to feel, quote, feel your prayers, just know this. You don't have to feel it at all. You just need to be faithful to how you are wired. Now, if you're not sure if you're a mind-led woman or not, I've got a quiz down in the description for you. You can confirm it. It can help you discover your true leading. I also have a link down there for my free training that will show you how to build a personalized faith plan completely using the Frame tool, which is a growth path that is specific to you. And you're going to discover your love of structure, of insight, and how it can guide you into all these different parts of your spiritual life through prayer, Bible study, service, worship. So if you think, well, I don't really know, Deneen, well, then let's book a call. Book a call with me if you're really ready to build a faith life that really works for your mind and not against you and making you feel different all the time. You'll see, again, those links are down in the description. Because you know what? Prayer doesn't have to be messy or emotional to be meaningful. Did you hear that? It doesn't have to be messy, spontaneous, emotional to be meaningful. You're allowed to pray with structure, with clarity, with confidence. And you know what? God's going to meet you there. My next video is for the strength-led woman. We're going to talk about prayer there. If you love to connect with God through movement and obedience and action, I'll see you over there, or just go see what it's all about. This is Deneen TV. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, be filled to overflowing.